Hey G Squad, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this nice cheesy eggplant parmesan. So if you'd like to see how I put this dish together, then keep watching. Alright G Squad, so of course everything is here on the counter. I'll make sure I leave the full ingredients along with the measurements in the description box. And so here's our eggplant right here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure you wash your eggplant thoroughly. Okay, because we're going to leave the skin on, so make sure you wash it really well. And so now what I'm going to do is cut this eggplant into rounds, maybe like about a 1/4 inch thick. And y'all, if y'all hear something like a noise in the background, it's because it's hot. I have the oven on. And so I'm wearing my portable fan that's helping to keep me cool. So hopefully the noise is not too pronounced in the background. Okay, so now that I have them cut, I'm going to bring this pan over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread these out, because now what we want to do is, because they carry moisture, we want to drain some of this moisture out of them before we bake them. So I'm going to lay them out in the pan. I probably have to use 2 pans. See if I can get them all in this one pan. I'm going to have to use the second pan, but what I'm going to do now is, excuse me, reaching. I'm going to sprinkle salt on these and let them sit for about 20 minutes. And what the salt is going to do is draw out the excess water. We're going to also flip them over and add salt to the other side as well. As you can see, I have some in the second pan as well. Okay, so now these are going to sit for 20 minutes to draw out the water, and then once that's done, we'll come back in and continue on. Okay, so while we're waiting for the eggplants to finish doing this thing, I'm going to set up my dipping station. And so in these 3 bowls, here I have some all-purpose flour. I have 2 eggs here. And in this plate right here, I have some breadcrumbs. So now, to my flour, I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. Okay. Give that a nice mix. Okay, so now my eggs, I'm going to add some milk. And this is like a 1/4 cup of milk. Mix that up real well. And then now for the breadcrumbs, I have some Parmesan cheese right here. So I'm just going to add say like a tablespoon, and blend that in real well. Okay. Alright, so now let's bring back our eggplant and then continue on. Okay, so now once your eggplant is done going through the absorption process, what you're going to do is rinse them, each one of them, off with cool water to remove the excess salt. And then you're going to take a towel and you're going to make sure you dry them real good. So this is how they look. So now we're going to continue on. We're going to start with the dipping process. And also I have on the stove already heating a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then I also have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. Okay, so now I'm trying to get situated in here. Make some space. Alrighty. Okay, make sure you can see. Alright, so starting with the first one, I'm going to dip it in the flour. Then from there, I'm going to add it to the egg wash. Make sure you allow the excess egg to drain. And then from that, we're going to add it to our breadcrumbs. And you want to make sure you press it down in there so the breadcrumbs would adhere to your eggplant. Okay? I'm going to do a few at a time. So we have the flour. Repeat the same process. And back in the breadcrumbs. Okay, so now I'm going to continue this off camera, and then when I come back we'll start frying. Alright, G Squad, so I have my eggplants all prepped, as you can see. So now I'm going to begin frying them. So I'm going to fry them like 2 to 3 minutes per side until they're golden brown. And we're just going to do these in batches. And then off to the side right here, I have my cooling racks. As I remove them from the pan, I'm going to set them to the side to allow them the grease to drain, and then I'll show you how they're looking afterwards. Okay, so turn this over. Okay, so now I want to remove these. As you can see, they're nice and golden brown. And I'm just going to repeat the same process until all these are done. Okay, so see you shortly. Okay, family, so most of them are done. Now, if you notice some of them are different than the others, this texture is a little smoother than this one. That's because I ran out of the regular breadcrumbs, so I had to use the panko breadcrumb. And so that's why you see the, you know, the extra graininess on the top. But yeah, so that's what happened. 2 different breadcrumbs I had to use. But yeah, this is how they look. Okay, so now we're going to start to layer this in the pan. So I have a baking dish here. I've already added a thin layer of sauce. And this is the sauce that I'm using. And I do have on deck some Prego sauce in the event that I run low on this one. So now I'm going to add my eggplant. And as you can see, they're different sizes, so it's going to make it fit where it can fit. They have to overlap a couple of them. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with another layer of this sauce. Okay, so now I'm going to follow up with some of this grated Parmesan cheese. And then add some of the mozzarella. Then I'm going to repeat the process. Okay. Let me remove this next batch of add some more sauce. the final layer of cheese. Okay, so now I'm going to bake this, let this bake for about, I guess about 15-20 minutes on 375 until the cheese melts and it's nice and bubbly. Okay, so here we have it. All right, so I'll see you back when I'm taking this out of the oven. Good. Here's a eggplant parmesan, fresh out of the oven. You can see it's nice and bubbly. Cheese is melted. All right. So now I'm going to let this cool. And then once it's cooled down, I'll be back to cut into it and then we'll wrap up this video. Alright fam, so this had a chance to cool down some. So now I'm just going to cut into it. I use my small scooper. Okay. This is how it looks. Shape a fork. Nice and thick and layered and cheesy. So that's how it looks. All right. So family, that's it. If you have made it, oops, let me pan your back some. So if you've made it this far, all the way to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. I thank you so much. And, you know, I always say if you have watched my videos several times and you have enjoyed the family, please consider doing so. And comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.